This place was supposed to be a safe place. We talked about that bullying aspect with the group that was here, and that was my life. I was an immigrant that didn't speak English in grade 1, and I had been bullied relentlessly. And my safe place were the animals in the barn. And coming here now, things haven't changed for a lot of students, except you now have the cyber bullying that's happening, which is a lot worse than what we were going through. And so this has become that place for anyone who needs us. And here, I'm thinking that when you were on the tour, you saw a lot of individuals together.
Yes, we did.
They're from everywhere. They come from as far out as Bowmanville and Curtis, Toronto, Richmond Hill, all over Durham region. They're 12 years old up to 20, 25, and they all work with each other.
Very nice. So would you say that your friend that pressured you into doing that 1 week camp, do you think she's still a big part of your program?
She is definitely a big part of my program. Mom is a fellow principal. Her daughter was born a healthy little girl, and at 3 days of age had a stroke that left her non-mobile, no fine motor skills, her hands were clenched, no words that you would recognize, and in diapers. And this young lady is still with us, and she's now 22.
Wow.
And she's still with us, yeah. So she comes now for our day programs and our warmer days on Sundays and that, so she's part of it. Yeah, so she stayed with us.
Okay, very good. So would you say this is a profit or a non-profit organization?
Oh, we are definitely a non-profit organization, and we are a registered charity. So we are really excited, as I was saying a little earlier, is that we receive no government funding at all.
Wow.
Everything here is through donations. So for the first 13 years, my salary paid for this. And we had some donations, but most of it was salary.
Okay.
And then what ended up happening is that more and more people, like yourselves, learning about us, were able to share, and so the donations started coming in. So we have more and more donations that are coming in to the point now where I do not need to subsidize.
Oh,
so which is phenomenal, because now whatever funding I have, I can use to upgrade.
Yeah,
so I
amazing.
still donate, but I don't have to pay each month to try and get feed going or electricity. The donations are taking care of that now.
Wow, that's amazing.
How do you raise funds for your facility?
We are not a fundraising making machine, all right? I have a lot of difficulties with those charities that spend all their time fundraising. Because when you're doing that, either you've taken staff away from programs, or you've hired someone separately, or you're not doing it. So for us, we do 2 fundraisers a year. One is our Friendship Walk, and that's how we started. It was the eclectic walk where the camel leads the way. It's a walkathon in Brooklyn. So the camel leads the way, and we have our families, we have volunteers, we have business people, and we do a 5K walk in Brooklyn. And the idea for that one was, many of the children I work with are stared at, pointed at, whispered, teased, and so I wanted something that people did the same thing for us, except we had enough advocacy behind us that we could say, come in, come follow us, this is what we're doing, why we're doing it.
Yeah, that's great.
So we raised about $12,000 from that one.
Wow. That's
And now we have another fundraiser that has been put together through one of my board of directors. And she does a dinner, dance, silent auction. And she'd hoped to raise $3,000. She raised $14,000.
Wow.
And all that money goes directly into programs. So all the activities that you see under here and in another building, I don't know if you were in the multi-purpose room. Okay, because there's lots of other things there. And that pays for everything. So we are one of the few charities that 1.98% of every dollar raised, 1.9, so let's say 2%, goes for admin. 98% of every dollar goes into our kids.
That's great.
That's huge. So we do those 2. And then other people do fundraisers for us. They just come in and say,
Yeah.
we did a bake sale at this school and we have $300 for you. Or we have a program that we ran and we made $50. Well, every little bit helps.
Yeah.
And that's what we find is, you know, if it's $2 or if it's $2,000, it all makes a difference.
Yes.
So that's what I do.
How long has your program been running?
Well, what happened is 16 years ago we bought the property.
Yeah.
12 years ago we officially ran 1 week of summer camp, and then that was it. 9 years ago we became a registered charity. 3 years ago we went full time. And in those 3 years we have our summer camp programs, we have March break camp happening. Sunday, we do Adventure Day Sundays now with our circle of friends. We have a day program that's happening now for young adults with special needs that come in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I do leadership training now, so I have leadership programs that are happening throughout the week. We do inclusion programs for elementary children.
Yeah.
And I now mentor college and university students. So now I take in child and youth workers, social service workers, year 1 and 2. Practical nursing program is here. Personal support workers are here. And we are going to start with occupational therapy, and we're going to have recreational therapist programs coming in.
Okay.
So that's Humber College, Durham College, and Centennial.
So you're quite busy.
I'm very busy.
Okay, so our last question would be, so do you accept donations other than money, such as like blankets and heat stitches?
Yes, and that's the thing, is that the economy is not great.
Yeah.
It's very difficult, and a lot of places will say, oh, well, you know, that restaurant has lots of money, look how well they're doing.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Everyone is trying so hard to stay alive. And so for us as a charity, we're thankful at whatever gift we can get. So the gift of volunteering, first of all, is huge. I can't do all the cleaning and raking and all of that, and the gardens. So we have youth and adults who do that. Canadian Contracting Limited is a huge supporter of Nova's Art, and they specialize in concrete. So by the Wallaby House, they did the cement pathway. They did the deck around the patio deck, all in cement. They did my ramp up the front part of the house for our guests to come into my office. They came with 60 gallons of stain and brought 40 people with them, and they painted.
That's
So
great.
they dropped off about $75,000 worth of supplies, and then they brought the people and the machines to do it.
Wow.
So that's huge. Home Depot. They built the jungle gyms at the front of the property. They did the back deck by the pool. They made that a wheelchair accessible area. They did that. Home Depot was involved in this building. They did some of that too. Home Hardware in Brooklyn. They now do mini fundraisers for us. They make sure, so they've got a ladies' night coming up in a couple of weeks. So they sell tickets, and they've got different sponsors willing to help out. So they put all of that together for us. We've got grocery stores, No Frills will donate vegetables to us to help feed some of the animals. So that helps. And then people will drop off, like just a little while ago, someone dropped off a dog house, and someone brought their pumpkins and blankets and those types of things.
Okay.
It all helps. All of it helps.
Yeah.
So huge. My admin assistant, she was the head secretary at Sinclair High School. She donates 2 full days a week and evenings.
Wow.
There is no paid staff here except for one, and it's not me. So we have one person who works 30 hours a week at minimum wage and does 60 hours a week.
Wow.
That's it. Everyone else is volunteer, and that's what makes it work.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well, we'd like to thank you so much for having us
Thank
today.
you.
We've learned a lot about your program, and then we'll go into a presentation on it.
Yeah.
Well, and the other thing you need to realize too is it's not, you know, the presentation is important,
Yeah.
but not to the point where you get so stressed out about it that it's all about winning. It's not all about winning. You've already done it. By presenting, you're going to be able to share what we truly are about. And that's the big thing, is that we're getting less and less phone calls of, I want to come and pet the animals,
Yeah.
which is so good. It's got to be, I've got a child with autism, I don't know what to do. I've heard some things. Come on over, and we'll do
Okay.
those kinds of things, so
Bigger
that's
idea.
what it's
Yeah.
about, yeah.
Yeah.
So any questions that aren't on here?
Not too much, I don't
No.
think. I think you've answered a lot of our
Yeah.
questions.
Good, good. And hopefully, you know, you can still wander around, take some pictures, ask questions, okay? Ask questions of Owen and Sarah, and you can videotape them.